Hello everyone, today we are going to be looking at two different prototypes of the Gemmy life-size Upchuck Reaper. Now this item, as everyone knows it, is one of the two release Grave Rising characters where the character starts at this height and then elevates up while looking around and nodding up and down and moving their mouth. Now what you have in front of you right now is quite different from that, to say the least. So we actually have two different prototypes of the Upchuck Reaper, both of which are very different than what you would expect. Now from the get-go, you can look at the full character there and see that he has a rib cage. Yes, he does have a rib cage, and that's not the only difference with him. This one is a very interesting one because I'm not sure on exactly when in the prototyping stage it was made. I think it's pretty early, but I could be wrong by that. Because on the left of the camera right now is something that throws off the timeline of saying that, you know, this is the earliest Grave Riser out there. But anyways, so this does not rise up and down at all. It is actually comprised of a butler tray for the base, and then one of those metal pole-based poles to secure the torso to that base, otherwise a butler tray. So it does not rise up and down, nor is it designed to. It might be programmed though, and if it is programmed, that would imply that this is a budgeted version of the Grave Rising Upchuck Reaper, which could also make sense. However, on the right is a very much budget version that we will get to in a moment. So this guy on the left here, aside from the slight cosmetic differences with the clothing as well as the rib cage, which is a soft PVC material, the audio is completely different on this guy. I will leave it up to you to decide whether it's better or worse. I personally liked the audio the released one had, but this one, it's very unique to say the least. The phrases are quite strange and out of place, it seems. It's just him laughing at himself, basically. This one was on the left was voiced by Steve Ross. The one on the right was voiced by Jay Brown. The one on the right has the released audio that we are all familiar with. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick overview of the one on the right and get up close with that one, since there's less surprises there. Now this one is just a head. Obviously it had a body at one point, but not anymore. And what's interesting about this one is I believe it has the entire program for the full rising up and down, mouth movement, and everything else. But this one would have only risen up and down. There would have been no other movements. The jaw is actually on a spring. So as you can see, it can kind of like just freely bounce. So I think that he would have talked by going up and down. It is battery operated. There's actually, for all you senior fish collectors, there is a Frankie the Fish battery compartment. The toggle switch even says original and remix, partially. There's a trimmy jack that is corroded, unfortunately. Yeah, this takes 4 AA batteries, and on the inside there's, you know, an EEPROM and a bunch of separate boards and whatnot. This is programmed, like I said, with the original program. There's a delay once the phrase ends before it will start activating again, and that is the time allotted for the rising to go back down. Now the ports here, that one there is for the rising up and down, and this is for the sound. So, like I said, all it would have done is rise up and down and talk. So you could argue that this is obviously a budget version, but this is, you know, in a way a different kind of budget version. But again, like I said, the timeline, I'm still working to figure out exactly where this one goes. But my theory is that it would be an earlier one. Perhaps this was even made before any concept of a rising up and down one was done. Who knows, right? Well, I might know in the future, but as of right now, I have no idea. But I'll only play a couple phrases from this guy. You know, he has the audio y'all expect, but it's a little higher pitch and extremely clear from this very nice speaker. So, here we go.
Oh, my aching bones. They're just not what they used to be.
So as you could hear, the sound is very, very clear on that. That's all it does. I suppose I could construct some sort of rising mechanism for it in the future. But now we're going to show this guy, and I've already talked too much in this video, so without further ado, we will demonstrate him. And he has a push button on his sleeve, as well as a sensor in his nose.
Hey, I'm really getting hungry here. Anyone got some spare ribs? If you ask me, this is the place you want to go for some treats. Come closer. You'll see I'm a guy that's ahead of the rest.
He actually is only a front half of the head, the rest is just stuffed.
Hey, have you seen my organ donor card? It's here somewhere. Right this way. I'd get up and show you, but I can't feel my legs.
And I kid you not, this thing is the shoulder frame, the head mech, a metal pole, and then a butler tray with a speaker box sitting in there loosely, and the EEPROM and other circuit boards just loosely sitting in there. So very early design here, for sure, whether it was before or after the Rising one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely two peculiar and strange ones to show, but yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.